Now let's get into optimization and split testing, because writing a video ad script is one thing, but split testing is where you turn good video ads into great ones. But in order to test, you need to test the right things in the right order. So let's break down exactly how to do this systematically. First, what elements to test. Not all elements have equal impact on performance. The difference between a good hook and a great hook can 3 times the performance. That's why we start here. So number one thing to test, we have hooks, the first 3 seconds of your video. So you can test pattern interrupts, scroll stoppers, opening statements, visual elements, text overlays, thumbnails. And the key with hooks is understanding human psychology. When someone's scrolling Instagram or Facebook, they'll train their brain to ignore ads, and your job is to pattern interrupt so hard that their thumb stops before their brain even realizes it's an ad. And here are some examples of hook variations. So our original hook is if you're dealing with joint pain. Variation number one, warning, this controversial joint pain solution. Variation number two, they laughed when I threw away my pain meds. Variation number three, do not take another supplement until you see this. Then, after the hook, what you can test is the first 15 seconds or lead. And you can, by testing different problem statements, credibility builders, story setups, and qualification statements. These 15 seconds in your lead are crucial because that's when viewers decide if they'll watch the rest. You need to validate their click and give them hope, but without revealing too much. And the T is transformation without giving away the whole story. And examples of 15-second variations. So the original is it begins with I tried everything for my joint pain. Then other variation starts with after helping 47,000 people with joint pain, what doctors aren't telling you about joint pain, and this weird Japanese ritual for joint pain. So they all have different approaches to how they start the lead. Then you can also split test the primary story and angle. So different emotional angles, various storytelling approaches, different proof elements, various pain points, examples. And here are some examples of story angle variations. So the original is a personal transformation story. Variation number one is having a scientific discovery angle. Variation number two is doctor's secret revelation. So here you might have the target customer talking about the story of the pain point and how he find the solution. But here you have a doctor talking. You have the doctor as a spokesperson and the authority figure talking about the problem and or what the actual solution is. And another variation example is ancient remedy rediscovered. Now let's get into the hook testing methodology. Most people mess up hook testing in one of two ways. They either change too many variables at once or give up too early. Here's what to keep in mind when creating multiple hook variations. So you need to have the same video, but different first 3 seconds. There's at least 3 to 5 variations and keep everything else identical. The secret here is understanding viewer psychology. Different hooks trigger different emotional responses. And contrary to what most people think, subtle changes can have massive impact. So let me show you an example of a hook test. So the pattern interrupt hook would be stop. That glucosamine supplement is making your joints worse. Here's what Harvard researchers discovered. Then you can have the same angle but a different hook. So the curiosity hook, why are Japanese women over 65 never getting joint pain? This strange morning ritual explains everything. Then the problem-focused hook, if your knees feel like they're filled with broken glass, this 30-second mobility trick changes everything. Or the new style hook, breaking, Stanford study reveals this common mineral reverses joint pain in 14 days. So think about how each hook hits different emotional triggers. The pattern interrupt creates fear about current solutions. The curiosity hook opens a loop they need to close. The problem focus validates their pain. And the news hook adds credibility. And metrics to watch when looking at the split test is the 3-second view rate, average watch time, the click-through rate, and the cost per conversion. The key here isn't just watching the numbers, it's understanding what they mean. A high 3-second view rate means your hook works, but if your watch time is low, your story isn't holding attention. If click-through is high but conversions are low, you're attracting the wrong audience. And remember this, every time you find a winning hook, you haven't just improved one ad, you've discovered a psychological trigger that works for your market. And these insights are worth their weight in gold for all your future campaigns, because you can use this same hook template for multiple different VSLs and just change it up slightly so it fits your current offer and angle. Next, we have the thumbnail optimization. Here's something most people get wrong about video ads. So they pour everything into crafting the perfect hook, fine-tuning every word of their script. and then do the bare minimum on their thumbnail. The copy might feel like the most important part, but the truth is your thumbnail and the first 3 seconds are just as crucial as your hook. Because when you think about it, when was the last time you read a video headline without first being stunned by the visual? A scroll-stopping thumbnail with decent copy can outperform a world-class copy with a basic thumbnail. So stop treating your thumbnail like an afterthought, because your thumbnail is either grabbing attention or losing opportunities while you sleep. And here's the psychology behind it. Your brain processes images much faster than text. That means your thumbnail makes or breaks your ad before they even read your hook. So the text elements can have original joint pain. There's the one warning joint pain, doctor shocked, the joint pain secret. And notice how each version creates a different emotional response. So warning triggers fear of missing vital information. Shocked implies a breakthrough. And secret plays on our natural curiosity about insider information. So here are some effective thumbnail examples. So here, the secret the doctors are hiding about neuropathy pain in 2024. So here you can see a fork poking a knee and the thumbnail and the thumb. So it is kind of weird because neuropathy is usually in the feet or sometimes in the hands, and this spikes curiosity and interrupts their scrolling pattern, and they want to find out. Similar here, try the 60-second trick to eliminate 20 years of neuropathy pain. So shows the feet, the main area of the neuropathy pain, and it shows them against the wall. So it implies that it's some weird exercise that they can try at home and they want to find out what it is. Here, you can have like an animation explaining the process, and you see a person standing on the mat, the wire going through and going into the ground, and then like it plays a video like what happens to like the blood flow and the process in your body. And something similar here shows a swollen foot squeezed into a sandal. Also, like a subtle thing, but that can have an impact is it shows in the beach, meaning it's summer and a hot day, and having swollen, painful feet on a hot day is even worse. Plus, it shows a person they might recognize as an authority figure, so they might think this is something worth listening to. Plus, you can see the red arrows. And here, number one protein to eat for sciatic nerve pain, sciatica, and it basically points at the vertebrae. And another example, here's why most side sleepers struggle with hip and back pain aches in 2024. So this is like an image that grabs the attention. Plus, the format is kind of same here, kind of in style of memes, like you would have a regular image and the text here. So it's something they're used to reading, but now this time it's something about their pain point, so they're more likely to click and watch the video. And now the visual elements to test are before after shots, problem visualizations, X-ray or pain highlighting, like here, highlight the pain, and X-ray here, and animation here, solution demonstration, and emotional reactions. So most people mess this up by making their thumbnails too polished, and sometimes a raw, genuine image outperforms professional photography. For example, like here, it's just a regular image, or these two. And the reason is because it feels more authentic, more relatable. And what else is important is the perfect thumbnail doesn't just grab attention, it pre-qualifies your ideal customer while deterring time wasters. That's how you get not just more clicks, but better clicks. And another thing you can test is the length of your actual video. The ideal length doesn't exist. A 30-second video can crush 5-minute ones, and I've seen 8-minute videos outperform everything else. The secret is not about finding the perfect length. It's about matching your length to your audience's awareness level and your offer's complexity. So decide how much you need to talk about the problem, explain how well your market is aware of the problem, aware of the root cause and the solutions, and then you can create multiple cuts, a 60-second version, 2-minute, 4-minute, 6-minute, and if it's a longer one, you can test 25 minutes versus 10 minutes versus 7 minutes, and so on. And you can think of these like different sales conversations. You wouldn't pitch a $2,000 product the same way you would pitch a $20 one, and the same principle applies here. So there's different entry points. The original might be the full background story. The variation 1 might skip it and jump straight to the solution. Variation 2 might start with the testimonials, and variation 3 might begin with scientific proof. And sometimes starting with social proof works better than building up to it. And other times, diving into the science first establishes more credibility than saving it for later. So for example, here, you can see here it starts with the product demonstration. Here it starts more about the product usage and also the aftermath of like water relief. And here it starts about the journey, how I got rid of edema in just 5 minutes a day. And here it shows like a before and after. and also the journey. And here it gives out a review. An example length test structure. If you have version A, 60 seconds, you can have a punchy hook. This weird mineral erases joint pain. Then you move on to the core problem. Most supplements actually make it worse. Quick solution reveal and urgent call to action. So, for example, only 127 bottles left, and it's perfect for warm traffic or simple products that don't need too much explanation or don't need unique mechanisms and for the problems and solutions. Version B, 2 minutes. So you start with a story hook. My doctor laughed when I threw away my glucosamine. Problem expansion and studies, solution explanation, 3 key testimonials, scarcity-driven call to action. And this is your sweet spot for educated audiences who just need validation for what they already suspect. Version C, 4 minutes. You start with a breakthrough angle. What is this? What is Japanese research revealed about joint pain? Multiple scientific proof points, doctor endorsements, 5 detailed testimonials, value stacks for your offer, multiple urgency triggers, and layered call to actions. And this is your go-to for cold traffic or higher ticket offers. And make sure to match video length with buying temperature. And cold traffic needs more nurturing. And warm traffic often converts better with shorter, punchier videos. And just because someone watches the whole video doesn't mean it's optimal. Watch your drop-off points, and they tell you where you're losing interest and what you need to fix. Then you can also have call to action variations. And let me share something counterintuitive about call to actions. Stronger isn't always better, especially for cold traffic. It's easy to think that more aggressive call to actions will drive more action, but sometimes a softer call to action that aligns with your viewers' psychology converts better. And think about it: if someone's watching a video about joint pain, they're not looking to buy now; they're looking for hope and for relief. So your call to action needs to bridge that gap. So examples of the call to action is version A. Want to know if this Japanese joint solution could work for you? Click the button below to see how you can try it risk-free for 30 days. This works because it feels like an invitation and a sales pitch, and it respects their intelligence and gives them control. Then version B can be curious about how this mineral formula reverses joint damage. Click learn more now to watch our full presentation on this breakthrough discovery. So this is perfect for educational focused campaigns that try to spike curiosity, and then you move on to the next step where you do the selling. It promises more valuable information rather than pushing for a sale. And then version C is we only have 127 bottles of this formula available at this special price. Click now to secure your supply while we're still offering our 180-day guarantee. This adds urgency without being pushy, and it gives them a logical reason to act now. Now, moving on, we have advanced testing strategy. And here's one of the biggest testing mistakes people make is that they do random testing. People throw different variations in the wall, hoping something sticks. So here are different phases of testing you can do. So phase 1 is hook testing. Test 5 different hooks. Keep everything else identical and find the winning hook. Your hook isn't just about stopping the scroll. It's about stopping the right people from scrolling. So find a hook that works the best. Then after your hook, we have phase 2, length testing. So use the winning hook, test 3 different lengths, and find the optimal length. And this is where you start understanding your data. This is where understanding your data becomes crucial, because sometimes a shorter video with higher watch-through rate beats a longer video with more total views. And the reason is because completion rate often matters more than total views. Then you have phase 3. You can test your call to actions, use winning hook and length, test 4 different call to actions, and find the winning one. The same call to action can perform completely differently based on what came before it. That's why we test call to actions one of the last, after we've optimized the journey that leads to them. And then phase 4, you can test the thumbnail. You can also test it first with a hook. After you find the hook, then you'll use all winning elements, test 3 thumbnail variations, and find the winning thumbnail. And once you have your winning hook and content, you know exactly what kind of thumbnail needs to represent it. And your goal isn't just finding a winner, it's understanding why it won. And that knowledge is worth more than any single successful ad, because you can apply it to everything you create after. So if you have other products, other angles, other offers, you can apply the same templates that are working for you elsewhere. So pay attention to not just to what works, but to what it tells you about your audience's desires, fears, and motivations. That's how you turn testing from a guessing game into a scientific process that consistently delivers winners.